All right, we're going to look at the odd problems together. Number 1, I want to write it as a unit rate. How would I set up that fraction, RJ? Mm-hmm. 40.8 over 8. Okay? You should be working these out with me. You should be writing this down, guys. If I'm going to do it, you should be writing it down. Or else you can just do all of it on your own. All right, Mary Webb, what am I going to divide by here? 8, because that's what's on the bottom. Okay. So on the bottom, 8 divided by 8 is 1. Question, Jakaria? Yes. All right. When I divide this part, my calculator would give me 5.1. Okay, again, I know that we don't have calculators in our hands right now, so I'll kind of do the simple calculations for you. All right. Noah, I want you to give me my sentence.
First, can you tell me what that top one is, because I can't see.
Better?
Yes.
5.1 gallons. That part's good because it's talking about gallons. Remember, what's the word that we talked about today in our notes? Per. So we're going to say per, and what's that one talking about? Container. And we want it to be singular now. Okay? Any questions on how I set that up? All right, I'm going to move over to number 3. Remember, you're going to do number 2 on your own. I'm going to move over to number 3. I'm going to do the odd ones with you. All right, Easton, set up my fraction.
180 over 3.
180 over 3. All right. Gabriel, what are we going to divide by? What am I going to divide by? 3. Perfect. Okay. So on the bottom I get 1. That's my whole goal, right? Every single one of these. 180 divided by 3 gives me 60. Okay, and again, that would be something most of us would probably type in our calculator. Right? Kelsey, can you give me a sentence to go with that? $60 words per. All right, again, look, do I have a 3 here? No, so it's just per minute. There's no extra number there. Per minute. All right. Which means in 1 minute, how many words are they going to type? 60. Every single minute they can type that many words. All right. All right, Jalea, number 5. Set up my fraction for me. 4 over 8. We're not changing it at all. All right. Mason, on number 5, what am I going to divide by?
2. Or 4.
8. Because remember, guys, I know this is a bigger number, but what did our directions say? Divide by the denominator every single time. So, Mason, what number's on the bottom?
1.
What number's on the bottom for number 5, the fraction that we just wrote? 8. So what are we dividing by? 8. Those have to match, okay? Because, Mason, what is 8 divided by 8 going to give me? 1. All right? All right, so again, in the calculator is going to tell you 0.5. 0.5. Gabby, is that a good way to leave that decimal? Now, what's my top number talking about? It's talking about dollars. Am I going to go to the store and them say that's going to be $0.5? No, what should I do to that? We're going to add a 0 to it. Okay. So now it's $0.50, which we know the cashier would read that as 50 cents. Okay. Morgan, how would I write that sentence?
0. .50 bottle per line.
So 50 cents, which would be our $sign 0.50 per bottle of water. And I'm writing kind of small. Again, if you want to do your work on a separate sheet of paper, you can. It's always acceptable. Okay. So we've done 1, 3, 5. Number 7 is going to be like number 5 in the notes. Oh, that's the one we're doing next. Number 7, zoom back out some so we can see it. It says, about 17 trees are saved when 1 ton of paper is recycled. Do you see how 17 and 1 goes together? 17 trees goes with 1 ton of paper. Y'all good with that? When I'm using the number 1, it looks like a unit rate. Okay. If 20 tons of paper are recycled, how many trees are saved? Explain your answer. So let's start with the stuff that's together. When I'm starting with what's together, how is that fraction going to look? Morgan, have I called on you yet? Yeah, I just did. Carlos. When I put my 17 trees are saved when 1 ton of paper is recycled, that's 17 and 1, what would that look like in a fraction? 17 over 1. All right, 17 is talking about my trees. 1 is talking about ton of paper. All right, remember, here I'm already given the 1, so am I dividing?
Nope.
No. I'm multiplying. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. All right? Marlene, what do I have to multiply by? I've used 17. I've used 1. What do I have to multiply by? What number is left? 20? Perfect. So 20 is what's left. Y'all see where she got that from? All right, awesome job. So now on the bottom, 1 times 20 is 20. All right, 17 times 20 would give me 340, I believe. Let's watch our language and the words coming out of our mouth. Okay. All right. So my question says, so what is the 340 talking about? 340 what? Trees. And then the 20 is talking about tons of paper. Now we want to be careful there because we don't want to just say 20 paper. We don't want them to think it's 20 pieces of paper. 20 tons of paper would be 4,000 pounds of paper, okay? If we're using 340 trees, it better not just be 20 pieces, right? See what I'm saying? Okay. All right, so it says, how many trees are saved? How many trees did we find out are saved? How many trees did I find out? Braden Fulgar? 340. And I'm just going to add on to that are saved. And then I'm going to circle that. Okay. My explanation is because I multiplied by 20 and I got 20 tons of paper. Is that work in that explanation all shown here? So we've labeled everything here, and I just read 340 trees are saved because that's what it wants to know. How many trees are saved? Number 8, I'm not going to do number 8 with you, but I want to mention, it says Theo's mom's buying an 8-pack of juices for $4. It says find the rate for the juice boxes. Since it's asking for juice boxes has to be on the bottom. Juice boxes is going to go on the bottom when you set that up, okay? We're going to move down and look at number 9. Number 9. I'm going to have to zoom out a little. I'll try to write to where you can read now, okay? If it gets too small, let me know. All right. Peyton. It says 24 students in Miss Willis's class sold 72 magazine subscriptions. 28 students in Miss Sawyer's class sold 98 magazine subscriptions. Whose class sold more magazine subscriptions per student, which means where are my students going? On the bottom, and we want to explain. So, Peyton, we're going to start with Miss Willis's class. I'm just going to label it with a W. For Miss Willis's class, what should that fraction look like? 72 over, what's 72 going over? No. Read the question again. How many students sold 72 magazines for Miss Willis? 24. So those have to stay together. Now see where we're getting 72 goes with 24 for Miss Willis. All right, we are going to change that to a unit rate. So, Carrie, what am I going to divide by here? 24. Okay. All right, do I have a 1 in this one, Jakaria? No. If it has a 1, you multiply. Since this one does not, we divide. Okay. All right, so 72 divided by 24 is going to give me 3. Over 24 divided by 24 is 1. So can someone tell me, what does this mean about Miss Willis's class? What is the 3 talking about? The magazine. So we'll say 3 magazine subscriptions. Try to save some space and write that down here actually. 3 magazine subscriptions per student. Okay, so that was Miss Willis's. All right, let's look at Miss Sawyer's. Okay, Jakaria, what's my fraction going to be for Miss Sawyer's class? Okay, perfect. The numbers are perfect there, but we want the students to go on the bottom. So instead, we're going to put 98 over 28. 98 is going to go on the top. 28 students will go on the bottom. So 98 on top, 28 students goes on the bottom. Okay. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to divide this one. What am I dividing this one by, Braden? 28. Why? It's on the bottom. All right, that's the good thing. When you have weird numbers like 98 and 28, you don't have to think about it. Just use what's on the bottom. Okay, on the bottom, we're obviously going to get 1. And then 98 divided by 28, using a calculator to type that in, is going to give me 3.5. Okay. How would I write that one out in a sentence? How would I write that one out in a sentence? Oh, who's next? Jessica. What is the 3.5 talking about? The magazine. So we'll say 3.5 magazine subscriptions per student. Perfect. Subscriptions per student. Ooh, this one got real tight. I should have given us more room. All right. And then we want to know which class sold more per student. So which class sold more per student, Miss Willis or Miss Sawyer? Miss Sawyer. Why? Yeah, I sold 3.5 per student. How much did Miss Willis sell?
3.
Just 3 per student. So I would say Miss Sawyer sold more per student. Okay. So that's kind of, I think these are kind of fun. This is where you're starting to compare. This could come in handy if I'm in the store and I want to find out which one is actually a better deal. Look at the price, see how many are in there, divide it, see which one you're actually paying more for. Okay. So here for number 10, it's talking about Kayla got some gas, Kiana got some gas, and then I'm going to compare. So we're going to do Kayla's And we're going to do Kiana's. Yeah, I'm not doing it with you. I'm just kind of setting it up for you. So you're going to find Kayla's amount, and then you're going to find Kiana's amount. If it says per gallon of gas, where's your gas going? On the bottom. If it says per gallon of gas, that should be on the bottom. All right. We are going to look at number 11. We're going to look at number 11. All right, it says the result of a car race is shown. Determine who drove the fastest and explain your reasoning. So I'm going to start with cut right, and I'm just going to use a C. Okay. We want to figure out who went the fastest. So for cut right, and guys, it really doesn't matter which way you do this. You can do the laps on top or the time on top. Okay, so y'all can do the even and y'all can do number 11 since you're packing up. It'll be in the video, but now you can do it on your own at home. We pack up when I dismiss. It wasn't the whole class, but I had about 3 or 4 people moving around to put up their binders. If I'm up here working problems, guys, you're the one that has the test on Friday. You need to be paying attention, okay? I will videotape this problem. You are doing all of the even and number 11. All right? Y'all do not have to do number 13. My advanced students are doing number 13. It will also be in the video. Okay? Okay, so picking up number 11 and finishing it out. For number 11, we're going to start with C for cut right. All right, and the way I did it was I put my laps on the, I'm going to put on the top, so 35. Nope, that's not what I did. I want to figure out how long it takes them to go one lap. So I'm going to put 84 on the top and my laps on the bottom, which is 35, so I can figure out how long it takes to go one lap. All right, since 35 is on the bottom, I'm dividing by 35. Okay, so when I type into my calculator 84 divided by 35, I get 2.4 over 1, which means 2.4 laps in 1 minute. So just a reminder, you might want to label that so you can look back at it. All right, then I have Evans. For Evans, he went, it took him 96.6 minutes, and he went 42 laps, dividing by 42 since that's on the bottom. Okay, 96.6 divided by 42 is going to give me 2.3 over 1, so that's 2.3 laps in 1 minute. And then my last one is Loza. Okay, so they went 102.6 minutes, but they went 38 laps. So divided by 38. So 102.6 divided by 38 gives me 2.7 laps in 1 minute. All right, so looking at this, we want to see who drove the fastest and explain. So in 1 minute, Cutright was able to go 2.4 laps. In 1 minute, Evans was able to go 2.3 laps. And in 1 minute, Loza was able to go 2.7 laps. So if I look at this, in 1 minute, Loza went the furthest. So that's what I'm going to say went the fastest. So I'm going to say Loza drove the fastest because he went the farthest in 1 minute. Loza drove the fastest because he went the furthest in 1 minute. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to skip down number 13. So real quick, let's see. Number 12 says approximately 26 miles. He ran the marathon in 4 hours at a constant rate. Found how far he ran per hour. So this is just looking for that unit rate. Make sure our hours go on the bottom. All right, number 13. Now, number 13, in my opinion, was a little tricky, so my advanced class, this one is just for you guys. All right, so number 13, it says the Shang Maglev train is the fastest train in the world, traveling about 2,144 miles in 8 hours. So this first one just says how many does it travel in 1 hour. So this is straightforward. This is just my unit rate. So I'm going to put 2,144 over 8, because I want my hours on the bottom. Dividing these both by 8. On the bottom, I get 1. 2,144 divided by 8. 2,144 divided by 8 gives me 268. Okay, so that's going to tell me that this train can go 268 miles per hour. Okay. The distance between Columbus, Ohio and New York City is about 560 miles. I want to know how many hours it would take the train to travel between the cities. Now, I want us to remember, I already know how many miles it can go in 1 hour. So if I take my 560 and divide it by 268, so I'm dividing it by the miles it will travel in 1 hour. When I type that into my calculator, I think I get something a little crazy looking. Divided by 268. All right, I end up with 2.0895555. So that 5's repeating. Okay, so this is like an exact amount. Actually, no, it's 552. It's not even repeating. 5522. All right, this isn't a good number for me to use, so we're just going to round this out because it does say it's about 560 miles, so that's not exact. So I'm just going to round that, and I'm going to say the train takes about 2 hours. So I just kind of rounded that out because it doesn't say exactly. So the train takes about 2 hours. Hopefully that was helpful. I know in class my answer sheet, I think I had this completely incorrect. This was wrong. I had thought about it backwards, all right? Hopefully that makes sense. This one's going the furthest amount of laps in a minute, which makes them traveling the fastest. We could have actually divided those the other way. I could have put my time on the top and my laps on the bottom, and that would have told me how long it takes to go 1 lap. Probably would have made more sense to do it that way. I did not. If you did it that way, then we should still end up with the same answer. If you have questions about number 11, let's make sure we ask those as we go over our homework tomorrow, because this is a great example of how to apply unit rate to real life situations. All right, so I don't know if any parents or if anyone in here is race fans, but that would definitely apply.